Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, totally normalized financial trap that is literally hiding in plain sight. We're unpacking an industry that's widely accepted, completely mainstream, and yet functions in a way that, well, it's probably going to leave you with a mix of shock and disbelief by the time we wrap up.
So let me just start by asking you this. What business has a 93% failure rate? The house makes guaranteed money no matter what, and people keep coming back totally convinced that this time is going to be different, right? If I told you about those odds, you'd probably assume I'm talking about a casino.
But the crazy thing is, this industry is actually way worse than a casino. Because, look, in a casino, the rules are honest. You already know the odds are bad, the house edge is baked right into the math, and nobody out there is pretending that playing roulette is a legitimate, stable career path. But the same absolutely cannot be said for retail proprietary trading, or prop trading, which is exactly what we are breaking down today. Okay, section 1, the social media pipe dream, and how they're selling this $12 billion illusion. Over the last 5 years or so, retail prop trading has just exploded. It went from practically a non-existent niche to a $12 billion mammoth. And the main fuel for this huge explosion? Social media. I mean, if you scroll through the finance side of TikTok or Instagram for even 5 minutes, you're going to see this one in a million Hollywood version of trading being sold to Gen Z and millennials on repeat. We're talking rented Lamborghinis, teenagers flaunting massive wads of cash, screenshots of profit and loss statements that have absolutely zero context. They're selling this incredibly enticing pipe dream that literally anyone can just sit at a computer and become insanely wealthy. And along with the flashy cars, they feed you this deeply toxic narrative. When you inevitably lose your money, and you will, the message from these influencers and the firms is that losses are just, part of the journey. They literally tell you that failure only means you didn't work hard enough. It completely normalizes catastrophic financial losses and keeps people hooked on a total illusion. Which brings us to section 2, the grim reality of returns. Let's peel back the curtain and look at the hard, unfeeling data that these firms so conveniently leave out of their viral videos. Because the sheer brutal reality of the math is this. Out of all those hopeful participants buying into the social media hype, a staggering 93% of prop trading accounts fail to turn any profit whatsoever. 93%. You are practically guaranteed to walk away with absolutely nothing. But wait, I hear you asking, what about the winners? What about the 7% who actually manage to be disciplined, stay consistent, and find an actual edge in the market? Well, for that tiny sliver of winners, their average return is a shockingly low 4%. Just let that sink in for a second. You beat the overwhelming, stacked odds, and your grand reward is 4%. To really put that 4% in perspective, spending years stressing yourself out, grinding at a desk, and paying mind-boggling fees actively underperforms doing absolutely nothing. Seriously, you could take nearly zero risk, get favorable tax treatment, and just park your money in US Treasuries or buy the S&P 500, and you would beat the top-tier prop traders. Earning 4% isn't some elite trading achievement, it's basically just matching a risk-free benchmark. Section 3, how the model actually works. Because if the odds are this terrible and the basic alternatives are literally better, who is actually winning here? Well, spoiler alert, it is definitely not the traders, it's the prop firms. Let's just walk through this trap step by step. First, you pay a real, non-refundable fee. We're often talking hundreds or even thousands of dollars just to attempt a trading challenge. In return, they give you what looks like a $50,000 or $100,000 trading account. But it isn't real money. It's a simulated paper trading account. Then you trade. And the very moment you inevitably hit their strict drawdown limits, meaning your fake account loses a certain percentage, bam, you fail. The firm pockets your real, hard-earned cash, they reset the fake account, and they just move right on to the next person. And here is the absolute crucial detail that makes this whole thing click into place. When a firm actually has to pay out one of those rare 7% of successful traders, that money, it's not coming from real market profits. It comes directly from the pool of fees collected from the 93% of traders who failed. It is just a closed loop of continuous fees. Section 4. The math of gambler's ruin and why you are quite literally guaranteed to lose. See, this entire business model relies on one fundamental statistical concept to ensure the house always comes out on top. That concept is known as gambler's ruin. The fundamental idea here is that in any game where you have finite capital and the expected value is non-positive or negative, it is mathematically certain that you will eventually hit a string of bad luck and go completely bankrupt. It doesn't mean you're a bad trader, it doesn't mean you're reckless, it just means time is actively working against you.
Think of it like a roulette wheel, where you only bet on black. There are 38 pockets, 18 are black. So that gives you a little over a 47% chance to win on any given spin. Now, you might hit a winning streak early on, sure, but because you have a 53% chance to lose every single time that wheel spins, a bad streak is mathematically inevitable. The casino doesn't even need to cheat you. They just have to wait. The longer you play, the more certain your loss becomes. It isn't just likely, it's an absolute certainty.
So the real kicker is how these prop firms weaponize this exact math. They combine the concept of gambler's ruin with incredibly strict drawdown limits, capped upsides, and instant reset to zero failure conditions. Honestly, it doesn't matter how calm you stay or how flawless your system feels. The firm's mathematical edge ensures that your eventual failure is just a matter of time and repetition.
Section 5. You are the product, a system fueled by failure. Because when you really zoom out and look at the whole picture, you realize a pretty dark truth about this industry. This is not a system designed to find the next generation of elite trading talent. Not at all. I mean, just look at this number. From the firm's perspective, this is purely a volume business. If 300,000 traders attempt a challenge, the firm is banking on the statistical certainty that on average 279,000 of them will fail. They literally rely on it, because that massive volume of failure is exactly what funds the entire operation. In prop trading, you aren't the customer, you are the input. And you know what's wild? The firms don't even hate the few people who actually succeed and cost them money. In fact, they absolutely love them. Those rare winners are the proof of life. They are the marketing budget. The firms use those few success stories to provide the illusion of hope needed to lure in the next massive wave of hopeful applicants whose fees will keep the whole machine running. The absolute main takeaway I want you to have from this explainer is to stay as far away from this predatory industry as humanly possible. They are selling a pipe dream and actively profiting of your financial ruin. As the old saying goes, sometimes the absolute best trade you can make is not trading at all. I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder today. In an online economy built entirely on the hustle, where absolutely everyone is selling a shortcut to wealth, who is actually cashing the check? Next time you see a flashy lifestyle being marketed as a financial strategy, remember the cold, hard math of this $12 billion trap and ask yourself, who really has the edge?